Welcome to the Innovate for Climate Facebook series. We're live streaming from our digital media zone here in Frankfurt. We're going to have this conversation, but in the meantime, in the background, people are networking on carbon markets, finance, climate change. We're in the middle of the 3 days of what has been a very exciting conference. To my left, I have Neeraj Prasad, Practice Manager of the Carbon Markets and Innovation Unit, and to my right, I have Valvanera Ulargi, Secretary of State of Spain, and I'm Isabel Saldarriaga, Communications Officer for the World Bank. So before we start, please follow the conversation #InnovateForClimate. So Neeraj, like I said, this is the second day of a 3-day conference. Why is Innovate for Climate, or I4C, as we call it, important?
Thank you for that question. If you could think of one global event every year on climate change that was not focused on what are the rules going to be or what is the position of the governments only, this is the event. We have been doing some version of this since 2004. We've taken it around the world in a manner of speaking, and the event has come for the first time to Frankfurt. This allows people with the background of the economy, industry, technology, finance, the policymakers, all of them to interface with each other, to understand where they are coming from, and to see where we can take our efforts in terms of climate. It is the ultimate, in my opinion, place to network. It is the place to be fully informed about what is going on, what are the opportunities for society, what are the opportunities for industry, and indeed, what are the opportunities for government. Thank you.
Thank you. Valvanera, so from your perspective, why is I4C important?
Thank you very much. I think that I4C is very important to complement what Neeraj have already said, because we try to offer, a new common space where all the facilitators gather together face to face. We would like to talk about technology, we would like to talk about innovation, we would like to talk about finance, because that's what we agree in Paris. We agree a new model that involves all stakeholders, because it goes beyond the administrations. We need to be clear on the regulatory frameworks, but we really need to enjoy and to gather all the people that can make that model change, and that are the facilitators, that are the technology persons, that are the financial investors. And here in Frankfurt, in the second edition of the I4C, the government of Spain, jointly with the World Bank, try to promote this new idea, these new models of collaboration where all the society work together to a great goal, to achieve these 2 degrees that we assume in Paris, and we really need to urgently put in place, to find a better place to get all our money there and to get all our money well focused on green investments, because otherwise the objective will be very, very hard to reach.
Thank you. So Neeraj, we are talking about this has happened before. Last year it was in Barcelona in Spain. Now we're in Frankfurt, Germany. What's next?
More are I4Cs, I guess. So we have, with the support from the governments of Germany and Spain, undertaken this 3-year process for I4C. Last year in Barcelona, this year in Frankfurt. Next year, the plan is to take it to Asia. This is sort of the direction of travel. We anticipate that there needs to be a place to interpret what is the action that can take place on climate change coming out of the climate negotiations, understanding what market opportunities are being created, looking to establish the prototypes that can be tested with people who have done this before, who know how it works and how it doesn't work. This is the incubation of ideas and the crowding, the crowdsourcing, if you will, of what is best in terms of making things happen. So we plan to do this every year for as long as it is required. But for now, we could be planning for 3 more years after next year.
Great. Looking forward. Valvanera, what are your expectations for the development of climate markets in the coming years? This has been a topic here for a while now, and what's next?
It's a topic here and it's a topic in the whole world because we are right now all implementing Paris, and implementing Paris needs for good tools at public level but also at private level. So the carbon markets will be a key piece at the end of the day. We are trying to close all the rule book in United Nations, and in this rule book, Spain and the government of Spain would like to see, the role of the carbon markets as a cornerstone, as a good instrument to implement the compromises and the objectives that all have assumed under the Paris Agreement. That means that we need to push hard to new instruments because we are in a new era, and we need to take advantage of all the knowledge that we have already get with the previous instrument and with the collaboration of the World Bank and with the carbon markers that are already in place. But we need to make a step forward. We really need to innovate because the world needs new solutions to create, new mitigation outcomes. That was one of the main reasons that today we have launched, together with the World Bank, a new initiative, or we joined to the initiative that the World Bank presented to us to try to be the first one to put into tangible products how the new markets will be functioning. It's important because we are trying to get everyone involved. All the countries, will like to use these mitigation outcomes, and we really need to have a place where demand and the offer get together with a good environmental integrity, with no double accountability, and to preserve, the environmental integrity of the system. That's why innovation is key in this summit, and that's why the World Bank is leadership of this initiative, and Spain joined. Very happy today the new model, because we think that we really need to be brave on that. It's time to be in the front line. It's time to be pushing for new models and to get all the ideas together. I foresee you also will be very good place to hear how the people can react to that, and a good place to test, how all the community will get involved in the new carbon markets that will be key for the implementation of the Paris Agreement. Great
news, thank you. Neeraj, do you want to expand a little bit on what that will mean for the work at the World Bank?
Absolutely. Let me tell you a little story. The last time we tried to do this, we spent 8 years after the Kyoto Protocol to land the first generation of carbon markets. This time we don't have the luxury. There is no time. The climate challenge has intensified to the point where if we took 8 years this time, we were guaranteeing failure for the climate action. Therefore, we've tried to do in 8 months what we did last time in 8 years. We are putting out a prototype with the help of the government of Spain as the first among, we hope, several donors and countries that will support this initiative to create the basic carbon market of the future, to bring it out to people, ask them to test it, push it around, kick it around, make it better, but make it work so that we start showing results immediately, which is why we have an extreme sense of urgency, and we are very grateful that the government of Spain has stepped forward first. But there is a lot of work to be done, and we will try to do it within the next 6 months to start the design and then take it forward for testing the ideas in implementation.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
Hurry up, okay. Yeah, we definitely need this urgently, and thank you for launching this at Innovate for Climate. It sounds like it's going to be an innovative and new way of tackling climate change, so we definitely need that perfect platform for doing so. With that, we bring this chat to the end, but please follow the conversation, #InnovateForClimate. Thank you.